What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming packages, the next physical infrastructure package, and the second part of that package, the next social infrastructure package or human infrastructure package, aka the next stimulus package, as well as what is going on in the world today. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so, so you don't miss out on new videos. In today's video, we're going to talk about the new unemployment jobs report that is actually kind of bad and what this might mean for another stimulus check, as well as the unemployment lawsuit battles that are going on across the country right now and what might mean the future of stimulus regarding these lawsuits going on right now, as well as a new $9,000 plan the Democrats want to give to families. So yeah, we'll be covering all that here in this video. So let's jump right in. Don't forget to hit the like button, and here we go. Okay, so the June jobs report is in, as you can see here, and this might be a little confusing. I'll explain it. The economy added 850,000 jobs, which is decent. It's actually less than the million they predicted for April, the million they predicted for May, and I think they actually revised it down a little bit because they realized that they weren't going to hit the million that they were supposed to hit each month. So it's around the estimate they expected, but less than they expected 2 or 3 months ago per month. But yet unemployment rate actually went up from 5.8% to 5.9%. And the reason they can actually add jobs, but the unemployment rate actually went up, is because there's about 400 to 500,000 new people filing for unemployment every single week, which is dramatically higher still than pre-pandemic levels. So when you see headlines like that 850,000 new jobs were added for the month of June, first of all, that's for the whole country. So it's not really, it's like a decent number. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not great. In fact, it's lower than the estimates from months ago that they were expecting. But the unemployment rate actually went up to 5.9%. So what does this tell us? And this tells us what I've been kind of telling you guys, is that the economy is going to rebound very, very slowly. And we're seeing this literally the last 3 months. We're seeing these bad economic jobs report, these bad retail sales report. Unemployment's actually gone up despite these 25 Republican governors that are cutting off unemployment bonuses. About half of them have already stopped the unemployment bonuses. And guess what? Unemployment went up. It didn't go down. It didn't go dramatically down. We didn't see unemployment, get cut in half. We didn't go from like 6% to 3%, and millions of people went back to work. Unemployment actually went up. And that's because it's not just an easy thing of, people just, hey, just go back to work. It's not really that simple. I do think that there are some people that will definitely go back to work once they lose the unemployment bonus. Because I'm a realist. Let's be real here. There are some people that will happen to. I'm a realist. Let's look at it from a real point of view. We all probably know some person that is just collecting unemployment benefits and waiting for him to, the bonus money, right? But here's the thing is unemployment went up, even though half the Republican states, have already opted out of the unemployment bonuses. And that's because there's a systematic problem here. We're in a pandemic, or maybe starting to come out of a pandemic. The economic recovery is probably going to take years. In 2008 and 2009, it took 4 to 5 years to get unemployment back to normal. Chuck Schumer says it took 5 years. So think about that. 5 years it took for unemployment to get back to normal from the 2008, 2009 housing recession, or housing, recession that the whole country went through. We didn't even have to deal with the virus, okay? We still have the virus. The Delta variant is raging on. A lot of people are concerned that when the fall and the cooler weathers come around, the Delta variant is going to be very, very deadly and lethal. In fact, the U.S. is actually sending out surge teams right now into certain parts of the country right now because of the Delta variant. So that's still something to be concerned about. The pandemic is not over. In fact, Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, actually says the pandemic is far from over. The economic recovery is going to take quite a while. This is good news for stimulus, but really not great news for our country because unemployment is It actually got worse over the last month. Everybody's saying, yeah, let's just force people to go back to work, end the unemployment bonuses. I mean, what everybody is forgetting is that 37% of all small businesses are out of business. They're bankrupt. They're gone. All those jobs are completely gone. They're not coming back a month later. I mean, if you're a small business owner and you just went out of business, you just went bankrupt like a month or two or three or four ago, you're not going to be starting another business a month later. You just went bankrupt. You just went through a bankruptcy. You have no money. They maybe even liquidated your assets. So I think it's safe to say that you're not going to be starting another business in the next month or two. So yeah, and that's like the kind of the tale of two tales. We have these billionaires that are just making billions and billions and billions of dollars. You know, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, the CEO or founder of Amazon, are both worth like $200 billion. And when the stock market goes up by 10%, they make $20 billion, right? Yeah, 20 billion, and that's why we have these Democrats calling to tax them because when their riches go up, if they don't sell any of their stock, they actually don't pay any taxes at all. So they can gain $20 billion, billion, not 20 million, 20 billion, and not even pay a dime of taxes if and when they ever sell it. So we could actually see trillionaires at some point here within the next like 10 years or so. We could see the first trillionaire. And the sad part is a lot of them don't pay that much taxes. In fact, a lot of them pay less than 2% taxes because their wealth is in these stocks or their own company stocks like Amazon or Tesla. And they don't pay taxes on them until they sell some of their stocks, which they rarely do. And that's kind of the tale of two stories that we're seeing right here. The average person, you guys that are watching my channel here, seniors, people on Social Security, unemployed people, poor people, low income people are struggling right now. 37% of all small businesses have gone out of business. If you had a small business, there's over a 1 in 3 chance you've lost your job. Unemployment actually gone up, and yet they're getting rid of unemployment bonuses. So it's not having the intended effect. They're getting rid of these bonuses. They're not paying people this money that was actually passed into law from the third stimulus check package. And it's a law that says that you're supposed to give this money to the people. And these Republican governors, are 25 Republican governors, have opted out of this money, and now people are not getting this money and they're still unemployed. Remember, unemployment rate went up. More people are unemployed now that they got rid of the unemployment bonuses than last month. Yeah, so it's not having its intended effect. I do think some people are going to go back to work, but the problem is we have a systematic problem here. It's not going to be fixed overnight. I mean, this economic recovery is going to take months. I'm sorry, not even months. It's going to take years. It's going to take years. I think at the best case scenario, we're going to see 2 to 3 years until unemployment gets back to pre-pandemic levels, gets back to normal levels. 2 to 3 years. And that's really if the virus goes away at best case scenario. We're talking about like the virus just withers away to nothing here within the next few months. And that's best case scenario, right? That's if this Delta variant doesn't continue to keep on mutating and variants, and people continue to get the vaccines, which we know a lot of people don't even want to get them at all. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. Now, here's the other thing is that there's lawsuits going on in several different states here. Texas, Indiana, and Maryland, at the bare minimum, are the ones I know about, as you can see right here, are suing to have their unemployment benefits immediately reinstated. The state of Indiana has had a judge that says that they are going to reinstate the money temporarily because there's a statute in the Indiana law that says that they must take any federal money for their citizens for the state of Indiana, and that it could cause irreparable harm to their citizens. We also have the state of Maryland is actually facing a second lawsuit over their Republican governors opting out of these federal unemployment bonus money. And again, this unemployment rate is not getting dramatically better. In fact, it actually got worse. So I think it will probably get a little bit better, but that's best case scenario, at least the way the data is looking right now. So we're gonna be in this for the long haul. Now, what's interesting about these first couple lawsuits, Texas, Maryland, and Indiana, for these unemployment benefits, is that if these states ultimately lose these cases, that'll set the precedence for pretty much all the other states. That I mean, if we see the first three states lose, probably all the other states will lose as well. Same thing if these three states win, they uphold the decision, which it's not looking that way. It's looking like these states are going to lose. The Indiana judge said that it's looking in favor of the unemployment people, and that is why they temporarily told the state they have to start the unemployment benefits again. They have to restart the payments while they go through a final judgment. So the other thing we could see here, and this is why this is going to be a big decision for millions and millions of Americans who have lost their jobs recently from the pandemic. I mean, if you've lost your job at this point, you've lost your job during the pandemic. I mean, the pandemic is over a year old at this point. Yeah, I mean, this is a difference of $300 per week, helping you replace money that you lost from your job or not. And if these states do lose, those states are probably going to have to pay retroactive unemployment benefits for any weeks they didn't pay. So if you're from one of these states that 25 Republican governors, which is half of the country, and you're unemployed, which is millions and millions of people, there's a chance, I would put it at a 50-50 chance at right now, that you could receive the rest of your unemployment benefits that are bonus money that are currently set to go until September 6th. Okay. And that's if they don't extend it in the next package. There is a possibility because the Democrats are going to pass this next stimulus package on their own. And especially if the Democrats see that these Republican governors lose these lawsuits. First of all, Republicans hate the idea that Republican governors have stepped in and basically counteracted what the Democrats did with the third stimulus check package. I mean, it's the age-old battle, Democrats versus Republicans. Democrats hate the idea that Republicans have stepped on their shoes and say, we're going to overrule you, even though they've passed this into law. When they pass a stimulus package or they pass a bill, that makes it law. Okay, that makes it a federal law. So it's not like, oh, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. Like, this is a federal law. The question that the judges are going to determine is if a state governor can overrule a federal law in this case. I personally think that they can't, but I mean, governors do have a lot of power. So this is really up for a judge to decide, not for me or you to decide. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments. It is a very interesting lawsuit, but we will see hopefully very soon. But if the Republican states get overruled, there's a very good chance that the Democrats could extend unemployment benefits in this next package. That is one of the items that could be included. As you know, there's about 20 different items being discussed to be included in this next stimulus package, including a fourth stimulus check or possible monthly recurring stimulus checks. There is plenty of money in this next package. Senator Bernie Sanders and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer are actually seeking upwards of $6 trillion of the two infrastructure packages combined. Now, they probably won't pass it at $6 trillion. Even Senator Joe Manchin said that he doesn't want to go as high as $6 trillion. $6 trillion is like the starting negotiating number. I don't think anybody thinks that they're going to pass it at $6 trillion. Again, start high and give yourself negotiating room. But this leaves plenty of money for another stimulus check or even monthly recurring stimulus checks, besides the monthly checks called the child tax credits. Those are only passed for 1 year. They do want to extend that in this next package until 2025 or even permanently. If you have children, it's actually probably more important for them to extend the child tax credit because that's actually more money than a single stimulus check of $1,400. If they go with the monthly stimulus check, that's a different story, right? But I personally think there are several different items that would be more important than a single stimulus check if they go the single stimulus check route, which I do actually think. If I had to bet on red or black, right? If I had to bet if there would be at least a single stimulus check in the next package, I would bet yes. If I had to bet $1,000, yes or no, would there be at least a single stimulus check? I would bet that there would be at least a single stimulus check in this next package. I really do think that there will be for several different reasons. Number one is that there's plenty of money in the next package. Number two, they have over $1 trillion after they spend $600 billion for the infrastructure package on stimulus money that is already approved. As you guys know, if you've been watching the show, there's $2 trillion of stimulus money that is sitting there that has been passed from the previous stimulus packages, all kind of combined. They're going to use 350 billion of that for the states, cities, and counties. We know that states, cities, and counties are passing their own stimulus checks, like California and New Jersey. North Carolina has a couple proposals as well. I'll link it to a video I did with all the different states and cities on that at the end of this video. But so that's 350 billion. That just kind of went out to states and cities in the last couple weeks. They'll be announcing more state programs here in the next few weeks as well. And then the bipartisan proposal between the Republicans and the Democrats is to use half of the money, $600 billion. They're going to use that old stimulus money, part of that $2 trillion that's sitting there available, and they're going to use $600 billion of new money. So 600 billion of old money, 600 billion of new money. Okay. So that's why I personally think that when it comes time to negotiate, which is only going to be between the Democrats for the stimulus package, because they're going to pass it through the reconciliation process, which means that only Democrats are going to pass it anyway. So they really only have to negotiate between like people like Senator Joe Manchin, Kirsten Sinema, and just among their own Democrats. And we have so much support for a forced stimulus check. We have like 100 Democrats in the House. We have over half of the Democrats in the Senate. So I don't think that they're all going to back down and say, no, we'll be okay with no stimulus check. And I think when they go to negotiate with Joe Manchin, and if he's against the stimulus check, which he did vote yes for the third stimulus check, they can simply say, well, listen, Joe Manchin, we're going to just use the money from the past stimulus packages that has already passed for this next stimulus check. So we're not even going to spend any new money. We're just going to take this old money here that's already been passed from stimulus packages, and we're going to use that for the stimulus check. So don't worry, we're not going to print a single new dollar of stimulus money. And the good thing about this is this will help your people in West Virginia. This will help the economy. This will help people get back on their feet. It'll help people temporarily. And remember, a $1,400 stimulus check for a family of four was actually $5,600. So, I mean, if you're a single person, I mean, you're getting $1,400, right? I get it. It's not as much. I mean, you don't have as much expenses, but you do have to pay rent or something like that. I get it, right? But you're a family of four, $5,600, $1,400 times four. That's quite a bit of money. So I think that I do think that at the bare minimum, we will see at least a single stimulus check. But I do think that a lot of items in this next package are actually more important than a single stimulus check. I think either of the Social Security raises, I will link you to a video I did on that recently, or the Medicare expansion to include hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids. Either of those would be more important than a single stimulus check because those are benefits that would go on forever. Medicare, they say like 75% of seniors don't have hearing coverage. They can't get hearing aids. They can't get vision coverage. They can't get dental coverage. They literally, 75% of seniors do not have that stuff. The seniors that do have it have to pay extra money for it. So they wouldn't even have to pay for that. They would actually save hundreds of dollars per year by not having to pay for it. I think that's actually more important than a single stimulus check because a single stimulus check is temporary. Now, I'm not saying that I get to make the decisions and, take out a stimulus check, but I'm just saying like permanent benefits like that, like Medicare benefits that would go on forever, in my opinion, are more important. Social Security benefits that would go on, that would raise Social Security forever, are more important. I also think that 2 years of free preschool and 2 years of free college are more important because, again, 2 years of free college forever. I mean, when we're sitting here 10 years from now and we're thinking about, oh, that one-time forced stimulus check that was passed back in 2021, yeah, you're going to say that, 2 years of free college for our whole country is way more important because it's going to go on year after year after year after year. A lot of these package and really even the child tax credits, if you have children, there's 65 million children that are going to get the child tax credits. Those are actually more important for you than the stimulus checks themselves because they're actually more money. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that are actually more important than the stimulus checks. Now, if you don't qualify for any of those, I get it. The stimulus check is the most important for you. Eventually, no matter what your age is, you will qualify for Social Security and Medicare. So even if you're like me, I'm 40 years old, eventually you will qualify for Social Security and Medicare, and you'll be happy that they added in those things. So I get it. If you're not a senior, you're like, Jimmy, I don't care about Social Security increases, and I don't care about Medicare additional benefits. But listen, I'm here for everybody. I like to talk about all the different Social Security or all the different stimulus benefits and stimulus programs that they're talking about. Speaking of, here is another stimulus program that the Democrats are talking about right now. As you can see here, top Democrats unveil measure to give kids savings accounts up to $9,000 that could go towards college or starting a business. A trio of Senate Democrats unveiled a plan this week to provide up to $9,000 to most American children through a savings account in just the latest Democratic effort to give cash to lower income families. The measure, known as the Young American Savers Act, would provide federal assistance to children with parents or legal guardians that earn less than $100,000. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, and Senator Bob Casey of Oregon rolled out the plan, saying, quote, "The Young American Savers Act would invest in our nation's youth and make it easier for future generations of children to escape poverty and obtain economic security," Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said in a press release. "No one should be denied the opportunity to own a home or start a business because they don't come from a wealthy family." Now, get this, the federal government would only have to provide $500 annually until the child turned 18. So that's only like $40 a month. Then, up to half of the funds could be used to pay for college if college isn't free by that time. Other approved uses for the government cash include buying a home, starting a business, or putting it into a retirement account after the account beneficiary turns 26. So this is kind of a savings account program for children that, a lot of children grow up in poverty or with families who don't have a lot of extra money. And it would only cost the government $40 per month for children to do this type of fund. So yeah, like I said, if you don't have children or new children, you might not care about this, but I'm here to bring you guys all the different stimulus programs for seniors, for non-seniors, for children, for states, various states that have these programs going on. Everyone, right? Free college, free preschool, all the different stimulus programs I will let you know about because a lot of these programs cover millions and millions of people. This new one for the child savings program is just a proposal. It might not pass. It's not even a bill yet at this point, but I will keep you up to date. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new updates. I will keep you up to date on the fourth stimulus check package and new stimulus programs that are becoming available that are already passed right now. You can click this top video here to watch stimulus checks that are going out in July, August, and September that are already passed that you might not even know about right now. And this is my newest video about Social Security raises from President Joe Biden. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.